Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Toxic Terrors. I'm your host, Captain Chipier, and let me ask you something. When you think of toxic animals, what do you think about? Maybe snakes, or spiders, scorpions, or pufferfish, maybe? Usually something that's cold-blooded. You usually don't think of warm-blooded animals as having venom, but there are indeed some species of mammals that possess venom. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Except for the platypus, since that has its own video. So you can go watch that if you want to know about them. But anyway, let's get started with our first animal, the shrew. Shrews belong to the Saurasidae family, and say it with me, folks, they're a small mammal that's not a rodent. Instead, they're close relatives of hedgehogs and moles. Shrews are one of those everywhere but Australia and Antarctica animals, and they're one of the largest families of mammals with nearly 400 species. Shrews are omnivores, and like bears, during winter they don't hibernate but rather go into what is known as torpor, which is similar to hibernation except the subject is capable of being woken up, while with hibernation it's like they're in a coma. However, shrews also possess many unusual abilities for mammals. First of all, like cetaceans and bats, they have echolocation, and as you can tell by the title of this video, some species of shrews are venomous, which, like a snake, it's injected with a bite. This venom is very deadly to small animals, but thankfully it's not fatal to humans. Although, much like a Gila monster, it's still not very fun to get bitten since it can cause swelling and massive pain. Shrews also do not sleep much, only resting for a few minutes before continuing on their way. So yeah, shrews. The not rats of echoes and venom that don't sleep. How fun. Next up, we got the Selenodons. Family Selenididae. But, gonna be honest, there's not much here I hadn't already said about shrews. They have echolocation, they're venomous, and they're not rodents. Now, unlike the shrew, which has conquered the world and has hundreds of members, Solenodons only have two species, and they're only found in the Caribbean, where they actually used to be top predators thanks to lack of competition until, like most island wildlife, the introduction of dogs and cats caused their numbers to decline, and it got them wiped out from several of the islands. Nowadays, they're only found on Cuba and Hispaniola, which is the island consisting of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Other than that, there's not much to say about these guys. Now, what if I were to tell you there is a poisonous monkey? Well, that would be a lie, since this isn't a monkey and it's venomous instead of poisonous, but regardless, this is the slow loris. Native to Southeast Asia, the slow loris is part of the same group of primates that lemurs belong to, meaning they are neither monkey nor ape. And as their name suggests, they're not exactly the fastest animal around. And their diet is mostly plant liquids like sap and nectar, with the occasional bug for protein. The slow lorises are most notable for the fact that they're borderline chemists. See, the loris's armpit sweat glands secrete a noxious liquid that the loris will lap up, and when this liquid combines with the loris's saliva, it becomes a potent venom that the loris stores in its teeth. And when I say potent, I mean this venom can literally melt flesh. Yeah. Now, this venom actually isn't used for defense, but rather it's mostly used for fighting each other instead. Although they'll still rub themselves with the chemical as a defense mechanism. So yeah, a chemist monkey. Can't wait for the new hit show, Breaking Sap, coming soon. Well, let's look at the cards. Well, I can't find anything wrong with the Shrew card, or the Selenodon card. But the Slow Loris card only lists a single species even though they're a genus. It treats them like a carnivore, and it acts like their venom is a hunting/defense mechanism. So, 7 out of 10. As mentioned earlier, shrew venom isn't fatal to humans, but you still shouldn't get bit by them because, rabies. Shrews are one of those animals that refuse to be caged, so they aren't really in zoos, and shrew is also used as a term to describe unpleasant people, usually women. In pop culture, well, there's the Pokemon Sandshrew, but they're more based on pangolians, so not really. Other than that, shrews don't really appear much. But shrews do have a use in medicine, as their venom contains medicinal chemicals that can help with illnesses, so that's good for them. People don't really care about Selenodons, and as for the slow loris, they're a popular exotic pet. In order to become petable, they have their fangs taken away so they can't make their venom. And like most exotic pets, the way they're acquired isn't always ethical. But on the brighter side, the loris is widely revered in the areas where it's native to, with them being seen as lucky, and in some areas their body parts are used to fulfill different needs, like being used as painkillers and baby-making boosters. Also, fun fact, when Western scientists were first told that lorises were venomous, they didn't actually believe the locals, and it wasn't until the 1990s that they finally believed that, yeah, these monkeys are toxic. Lorises are in captivity, but they have to be careful as to make sure the lorises don't bite each other because, well, flesh melting. Well, as to toxic mammals, still weird to think about there are creatures where fur and poison exist, but hey, that's nature. And at least there's no toxic birds, right? Right?